Hello, I'm here today to talk about Chapter 3, Understanding Equal Opportunity in the Legal Environment. This chapter is interesting because it talks about discrimination in the workplace and the legal obligations around it. It comes down to doing the right thing, what is important to your company's values and you as a person, and reporting. You have a legal obligation to report an issue. You want to limit potential liability, know the complexity of laws. You need to have fair employment in the workplace. The goal of the EEO legislation and regulation, a situation in which employment decisions are not affected by illegal discrimination. And you need to take affirmative action into asserting those steps. And there's also equal employment opportunity laws in the place, and it goes on and talks about acts. That the Equal Pay Act of 1963 requires the same pay for men and women, which I did not know that before I read the chapter. That was actually established in 1963, which is interesting. I knew it was an act, but I didn't know that's when it was established. The protected class, a group of people who suffered discrimination in the past and who are given special protection by the judicial system. Yeah, and it also talks about pregnancy, how women are discriminated in the workplace because they can become pregnant and eventually have to leave employment for a little bit due to pregnancy and delivering birth, and that those problems do happen today. And sexual harassment, which is a crime based upon sex-based discrimination, which happens a lot in the workplace. And then there's also individuals with disabilities who are discriminated against because the employer, or they just don't feel like they can deliver the job, or that they just don't have an equal opportunity as others would of acquiring the job. So the Disabilities Act of 1990 puts that into place where they have the same opportunity as anyone else to acquire a job and to get the same treatment. And then there's regulatory agencies which help enforce these laws. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the EEOC, is one of these that help to enforce race, sex, gender, age, disability, national origin, religion, and equal pay. They enforce all of those acts. And then I thought it was interesting in the back of the chapter, towards the end, it has a section where it gives subjective questions going off of name, age, race, religion, all the way down. And it gives examples of acceptable questions and examples of unacceptable questions, and then comments about it, which I found was interesting, because it says race, ethnicity, and physical characteristics. The acceptable question was, after employment, the company must have a photograph of all employees. If employed, can you furnish a photograph? Do you read, speak, or write a foreign language? Then the unacceptable one was, what is your race? What are your height and weight? Would you please submit a photograph of your application for identification purposes? I don't find that an unacceptable question is what is your race, what are your height and weight. I feel like that's just the normal question for me anyways, but I guess it opened my eyes to that it could offend someone. So that was interesting. And this chapter just helped me to understand the Human Resources Department and discrimination, as they are a big part in it, and just preventing the situations and the laws that abide by it. So thank you for your time.